Alright, so what's going on, guys? Fire Force Episode 7, the investigation of the first commences. Alright, so we start this episode with a barbecue. It's a barbecue with companies 5 and 8, and they're just basically doing a little bit of shenanigans at first here. They're cooking some meat. They're playing with flames. Don't play with fire, kids! And they're just kind of having a nice old time. It's pretty lighthearted. Then have a conversation with Captain Obi and Hibana. They're talking about how Hibana believes that someone is creating the Infernal around the first jurisdiction, Company 1's jurisdiction in the Shinjuku district, and they basically agree, hey, let's work together. Hibana's like, Shinra, made me turn my ways. I'm not an evil person anymore. I'm a good girl. I'm on your team now. And this kind of brings up one of those classic tropes in anime where the main hero defeats quote-unquote villain, and then the villain turns out that they decide to work with the hero, and they decide to be complicit, and they decide to share their resources and their powers, and they basically turned a leaf because the hero was so inspiring, because they were so heroic. I just had to follow him. Oh man, it's pretty cliched, and at this point in the series, I gotta say, I'm liking this show less and less. There's just not really much to grasp onto. We'll kind of get into more of the meat later on, but the characters kind of feel flat to me. They're very cliched, tropey. They don't have a lot of depth. They just kind of follow a conventional format. Their motivations are just pretty basic and straightforward. Shinra and Arthur just want to be stronger than one another. It's kind of like that Goku-Vegeta complex where they want to be stronger than one another. They're always competing. They're always trying to see who's the best. Arthur's like Vegeta. He's kind of the hot-tempered one, and, he's always losing. And then Shinra's going to be Goku, the hero, who always, just has that burning desire inside him, and he has that classic plot armor that will allow him to defeat any enemy. So yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, they go to the Company 1 district, and we get to meet Captain Burns, Mr. Burns, Smithers, not Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. I know, it's quite the disappointment. Captain Leonard Burns, quite the name there. But yeah, they basically have a competition to display their powers to one another. And this is where we get to see kind of a little more battling between them. We get to see some new powers. One of the Company 1 dudes, he had like a tuba or something, some kind of musical instrument, and somehow with fire, he was able to turn it into ice. It was interesting enough to kind of keep me entertained. And then Company 1 basically proves themselves stronger than these other weaklings. And then Shinra and Arthur get their turn. They're going up against Captain Burns, and Arthur decides, hey, I'm going to take him on by myself. So he swings Excalibur, his little fire sword thing, and he swings it, and I think Captain Burns just like blocks it with his forearm. He's just like, is that all you got, you little bitch? And that is all he had. That is all he had, and he gets sent right on his ass. And then Shinra enters the battle. He's got a couple cool moves. The aesthetics of the episode are nice. It looks sweet, and I like the animation. I mean, it was passable. It was above average. It wasn't anything spectacular. It wasn't something that's awe-inspiring or makes my jaw drop, but it's good enough. And they have their little battle, and then Captain Burns basically decides to put the foot down. He basically just steps on the ground, and he sends like some sort of a force or some sort of energy, you can't even see it really, that goes right through Shinra, and it just knocks him right on his ass. And basically after that, he's like, okay, you're gonna be under the care of Lieutenant Kareem Flam. There's no E, so I guess it's Flam. So basically it sounds like they're going to do some training now where they're going to get stronger and kind of do that basic shonen thing where, they probably do some sort of a montage and their power goes up exponentially, and that's probably what's going to happen. We'll probably get a little more insight into the Infernals, but with it being a 24 episode anime, probably not too much information. They'll probably just kind of tease little bits here and there. And yeah, that's really about it on this episode, guys. I don't know. The show's gone from interesting to okay to I'm thinking it's trending in the bad territory now. Does it have potential? I think so. I mean, I think the fights are cool enough, and those first 2 episodes were good enough where I feel like if they can resume that same tone, that same emotional heartbreak, they could probably still salvage this. But if they kind of just head into the tropes and they just make everything conventional and make Shinra the ultimate hero that everyone adores and changes their ways for, then I feel like this show is probably going to be pretty bad. But who knows? We'll see in the next episode. Until then, catch you on the flip side.